Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are working on week 14 of our full deck challenge. Sorry, I had to look because Crazy Colors was 13. So we're on 14, Turquoise and Staples. And I'm a week behind. So I'm going to try to get this filmed because I want to do them in order. I may release 15 after 14 just to keep my weeks on track. I don't know yet. But I want to try to get both cards caught up today because I feel like being behind is insanity. And I haven't really been in my craft room for 2 weeks. Today is Sunday, the 13th. So today the envelope project aired, and gosh, when did I film that? The 31st, I think. So it's been 2 weeks. So turquoise. So we're going to need T, which doesn't matter where I pull the blank card from. I just wanted my Rolodex open to that page, or to that letter, excuse me. And I had to dig in my jewelry box. I knew I had a turquoise ring. Sorry, I'm shaking you. And because I was like, okay, so what color? And this is actually more like, this isn't actually turquoise. I can't remember what stone this is. But anyway, it's dirty, so don't look at my ring. It needs cleaned, and I don't have any jewelry cleaner. But I was trying to use it for reference. So I got my Salvage Patina out. I got these King Art Mixed Media Gel Sticks. I got my Salvage Patina watercolor pencil. And then for a complementary color, I got out some Rusty Hinge and then whatever color this is. It's kind of like a bronzy color, but anyway, it works. And I used my color wheel because I was like, okay, this is I don't think that's jade. I can't remember. I've literally had this ring for like a lot of years. Okay. And I don't know what we're going to do, but I just want to play with the background. I do want to do a little bit of collage on here. And I meant to get my glass mat out, but we're going to have to deal with Dollar Tree mats for right now. Whoops, so we can get going. I need to take these down and soak them and clean them because it's been a while since I've done that. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, again, thank you so much for your continued support. Where have you been, Jody? Why were you gone for 2 weeks? Why? Well, the why of that is kind of a long story. Ooh, how about a piece of doily might be pretty. So as you guys know, in November, we had left for our, that is kind of a cool piece to have. You know what? If I do that, it's an old recipe or cocktail list. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so in November, we left for our winter travels. And on the morning of day 4, some Yahoo on his phone, and I say Yahoo, and this man was a very responsible man. He had a very responsible position with his job, and he was on his phone, and he ran a stop sign. And we were on a 2-lane highway. He ran a stop sign. I tried to get stopped. I couldn't get stopped, and I T-boned him. Thank God no blood was shed that day because it could have been so bad. Oh my gosh, it could have been so bad. I absolutely believe 100% in my heart that God was with us that day. And I probably said this before, but I've not said a whole lot about the situation because we're not through this entire process yet. It's a big mess still. But as I had said in a previous video, I do think there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Really don't like that brush. So anyway, we have part of the settlement. Again, it's a mess, and I still can't disclose everything. But so it took 4.5 months to get any kind of settlement. And as I had said in previous videos, like, it has been a really big fight. to get this to the point that it is. And we were fighting for value. They didn't pay us what they should have paid us. It actually, the accident is actually on video, because you guys know, if you've been following me, I try to share some of our travel adventures. And I was driving, and so Mark was filming. And he was only going to film for 2 minutes. He goes, I'll just film for 2 minutes, and then you can like speed it up, do whatever you want to do to it. And I was like, yeah, that's good, because we were coming up on, I'm going to say it wrong, Oshkosh Lake or Lake Oshkosh. I don't know. But we were on an amazing, beautiful road. And guy just never even slowed down. It's like the stop sign didn't even exist for him. So he blew the stop sign, and I had like 20-foot long skid marks trying to avoid the collision. And so it is what it is. So we finally got a little bit of a settlement. And I say little bit because it's not a satisfactory settlement for us, but it kind of is what it is at this point. So Mark and I have had a multitude of conversations regarding next steps. And so because we love going to Key West and everything, we really needed something that was equipped with solar and lithium, which were massive upgrades that we had done to our unit. And the other company, which I still won't say who that is at this point, which is a really big bummer, because it truly is one of my favorite stores, and I can't go in that store anymore. I can't even bear the thought of going into it. And while it's not the individual store's fault, it's super annoying to me how we've been treated in this process. But anyway, so we got some settlement, I will say. And again, like I said, we're still fighting this. So Mark has been stalking, that's music on music, Jody. Mark has been stalking RV Trader. I like this foreign language here. Let's just use a piece of that. And found a unit in Panama City Beach that has solar and lithium, which there are none on the market with that kind of setup. And so funny how things sometimes work. And let's be real, like, we are due some good in coming our way. And our friends were still in Panama City Beach, because we were supposed to be in Panama City Beach the entire month of March with 3 other couples from Key West. Let me dry this real quick. Don't stick to my mat, please. Stuck it in the glue. It stuck to my mat. Okay, so where was I? Oh, so our friends were still in Panama City Beach. So Mark found this unit on RV Trader on a Thursday. And so I called my friends and I said, hey, would you go look at this for us? Because it's in Panama City Beach. We're in Northeast Ohio. Like, it's the logistics were like a total nightmare, let me tell you. Anyway, and so they, so cute. We had 2 friends that we asked, and then 4 of our friends actually went, which I thought was fantastic, because obviously 4 sets of eyes are better than 2 sets of eyes. And we did a FaceTime walkthrough with this unit. And if I'm being perfectly honest, is it what I wanted? No, but I don't know that any unit would have fallen into that category, because I loved what we had so much. And this unit is a little bit longer. I mean, it's 4 feet longer, which doesn't seem like that much, but the wheelbase is longer. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, so they look at it and they're like, yeah, it's clean. You know, it's been, excuse me, been taken care of, blah, blah, blah. So that was on Friday. And so we did a deposit on Friday. Then we went down So that was, I don't know, whatever that day, the end of March was. And then, so we booked plane tickets for April 2nd, which is why I had been so crazy in the videos, because I was trying to get content filmed because I really didn't know how long we were going to be gone, how long it was going to take us to get home, any of that stuff. And when you RV, I like to have things scheduled, but you got to have some flexibility built in because things happen, and boy, did they. All right, so we flew down on the 2nd. So on the 1st, Mark had to have a carcinoma removed off of his face. So the poor guy, we're trying to travel. His face hurts. It's swollen. We had a really, really lovely flight attendant on the first leg of our flight on the 2nd. And so she made him an ice pack on the plane so he could like ice his face or whatever because it was like swelling. And anyway, so that was, he had it done on the 1st. We flew out on the 2nd. We get to Nashville because our flight was from Cleveland to Nashville to Panama City Beach. And we get to Nashville, and the flight out of Chicago is delayed because there was some like massive storms rolling across the Midwest. So we sat there for 2 extra hours. But in that 2 extra hours, one of my favorite Food Network stars like walked by, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I had my computer in my lap, so I could not get up and act like a crazy fangirl because I had dropped my computer. So I was really excited about that. And Mark's like, oh my gosh, it was Manit Chauhan. So if you watch Food Network, you'll know who she is. And I told Mark, I was like, if it had been Guy Fieri, the computer would have been on the ground. I would have gone and been like a crazy train if I'd seen him in the airport because I just love him. I love her too. I think she's so cute and sassy, and I just really enjoy her. But anyway, if you're not in the United States, I don't know if you would know who she is. But anyway, so then we get there. Our friends pick us up from the airport. We only have our suitcases, and here we're going to try to bring this unit home, and we only have our suitcases, which was so crazy trying to figure out like what to pack, what to use. I feel like I want more texture in here. What to pack and what to take because we didn't know. And the sellers were really great because they give you ink on top of oxide. Below, or ink before oxide, Jody. So they were really fantastic and left some stuff in the unit for us. Like they left some bedding in there. And they were clean. I mean, I wouldn't have slept on a stranger's bedding had I not believed that, they were clean people because ew. But anyway, and they left a coffee pot for us, which was wonderful. So our friends took us to the grocery store. No, they picked us up at the airport, and then we drove the unit to the grocery store. And then we went and parked at a KOA for a few days and spent a few days with our friends because we missed them. We were supposed to be with them for January and February, or mid-December through mid-February, and then take a break and then meet back up for March in Panama City Beach. And hang on. I don't know if this has enough color. Ooh, hey, come back. Come back. Getting it everywhere now. See my mat? It buckles when I heat it. It doesn't like the heat gun. Okay, so we get to the KOA, whatever. Our friends come pick us up Wednesday. We go out for Wing Wednesday and had such good wings and a couple drinks. And then we went to go listen to a band Wednesday night and just had a wonderful time. Thursday, we had kind of a quiet day. I mean, we still went and did some stuff, but we weren't totally crazy on Thursday. Friday, we went to a restaurant that was really yummy, and my brother had told me about it. And then, is that dry enough? Sure it is. And then, that was Thursday. No, Friday. That was Friday. And this is acting weird because it's on the Mod Podge, I think. Then Saturday, we just kind of hung out and just chilled. And then Sunday, we went to leave Panama City Beach because we were going to go up to Red Bay, Alabama, where these units are manufactured. And the emergency brake air valve seized up. So we got pulled into a senior parking lot, and senior living parking lot, and the ladies were super nice because I was like, well, we have no brakes, like we can't move. And I'm livid because we just bought this unit. So fortunately the tech was like, no, like even if even if an inspector had checked it out, whatever, like they would not have known it was there. I don't like the plasticky feel of the Mod Podge. That's part of my problem. Let's do the rough edge. See what kind of we can give this. So anyway, a lot of money and a lot of hours later, we got the brakes fixed. And he said that issue would never have given any warning, that it just would have gone. So it just could have happened at any time. It could have happened on our other unit at any time. It just is one of those things where stuff happens to try to keep it clean. And you just got to roll with it. And that's part of being in the RV. Stuff breaks. Because they are rolling earthquakes. And so we got fixed, get on the road Monday. We actually were only 20 minutes late for our appointment on Monday in Red Bay. And the lady was so, I tell you what, those people down there are so nice and helpful. And so we got some stuff done. Actually got a lot done in the 36 hours we were down there. And so then poor Mark has never been an allergy sufferer like I am. You guys know I lose my voice. I get super sick with my allergies. Well, poor guy, he got a dose of that. So when we left Red Bay on Wednesday, I had to drive. And because he couldn't, he was such a mess. Like he was like tissues and just a big mess. And then, let me try this. I'm all over here just blabbing away, not filming. So I have to remember where I was. I think I was talking about Mark and his allergies. But anyway, I had took this piece of doily and I put some rusty hinge on my mat here, and then I dipped this in it and dried it, and then it was like not enough variation in color, so I just stuck my finger in the ink and kind of went over the top a little bit, because I think that just, it pulls the turquoise forward, but it's also adding that complementary color in there. So anyway, when we left Panama City Beach, it was, oh my gosh, it was super crazy, you guys. So it's dark because we had to leave early because we had an appointment at 2 in Red Bay. And so, come on, dry. So we were trying to get there, and so we both had to drive, but Mark was driving first. And mind you, I have not driven a big rig since the accident. And so anyway, we left the senior citizen living parking lot where we'd spent the night. Thank God they were so nice to us, because we just didn't have a choice. And so they were so kind. And I do want to point out the kindness, because here's a problem, especially with RVs in Florida. It's such a snowbird place that if parking lots allowed people to spend the night in their units, like they would have no parking for their consumers, because I'm telling you, RVs would just take over. Whether it's a travel trailer, fifth wheel, class A, class C, whatever. I mean, they're everywhere down there. And But anyway, they were so kind. So we leave out. It's dark. It's raining. It's a construction zone. And we're in a new to us unit. So my anxiety was through the freaking roof. Like I was nervous Nelly to the nth degree. And I was trying so hard to control it, but it's truly just something I struggle to control anyway, especially after the accident. Like I have a very, very, very difficult time because this person who caused the accident was on his phone and blew a stop sign. So I have no control over that. And you can only do so much, right? What do I want to do with this? I feel like we need more, but I feel like we need more of the Savage Patina color, or maybe we need a little bit more of a nuance of color on here. So anyway, we were taking turns driving, and I was just having the worst mental battle driving. Like for the first hour I drove, I was just like weeping and trying to breathe and a mess. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just literally don't know if I can do this again or do this anymore. Like such a hard time. But I know how much Mark wants to continue to travel. It's super important to him. So I had to try to find a way to overcome this. Maybe some background stamping. Because I feel like my collage is going to be on this side, but I don't know what I'm using yet for that. So anyway, then, we leave Red Bay, and poor Mark's got his allergies going, and I don't have a choice. I have to drive because he's a big mess. I mean, his nose wouldn't quit running. Like, he got hit hard. I felt so bad because I totally understand those allergies, and he didn't because he doesn't suffer like that. But that's cute. So anyway, I don't even know where I was. We left Red Bay, and I drove up to Portland, Tennessee, and we went to this super, super cute little winery. And like there was a gift shop in there that was, if this is repeat, I'm so sorry because I don't remember at what point I was saying this, but anyway. Super cute little winery, like what the best little gift shop. Like if you like have a friend or a family member who loves like wine stuff, this place was a perfect place to get gifts. So cute. Anyway, so we did that, and then we left there Wednesday night and went to our favorite brewery up in Georgetown, Kentucky. This is just a mess, and I know it's a mess because I've got Mod Podge on this. I really don't like Mod Podge, you guys. This is the layer of butterfly napkin from the one I put on the music paper for the botanical journal. So I'm just adding some interest to that. I can use that for collage fodder. That's the word. Let me dry this real quick. Really not sure about this background because my ink is like not wanting to dry. Even with the heat, it's staying wet. But anyway, so we went to our favorite brewery it's north of Lexington. And so we stayed there Thursday night. It was so funny because I was telling my brother, like, oh, we're going home on Saturday. And he's only a couple hours from there. So he called, like, literally when we were almost there and trying to navigate. And he was like, are you guys spending a whole day there? And we're like, no, we're leaving in the morning. He goes, oh, well, Jody said Saturday. And so I was trying to figure it out. I was going to come up and hang out with you guys. And so then we were trying to figure that out, and I was like, well, I guess we could spend an extra day, and he was like, no, don't worry about it. You guys don't have any of your stuff. This was a last minute decision, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. And I was like, well, that was good because I didn't know what we were going to do. No car, no dishes, and we had paper plates or whatever. But anyway, so I drove from Portland, Tennessee to Georgetown, Kentucky, which was good because there were only like 200-mile days. So it really wasn't like a super strain for me to do that. But I said to Mark, as we got further north, like he started feeling better, which was good. Plus, I got him more allergy medicine. So it was really helping dry him up because it was our last day was a 400-mile day, which was Friday to come home. And I was like, I can do it, but I would really really like for you to feel better so you can help me drive. And better is relative, I suppose. He wasn't walking around with, I mean, he went through a box and a half of puffs in 2 days. So anyway, let me let that dry. Still not sure I'm loving that, but it's okay. So we got a home. So the unit itself is 4 feet longer than our old unit. So that is both good and bad. And I will tell you why. It's good because when we do take off for our winter travels, what is my carry forward from last week? When we do take off for our winter travels, it's hard because we don't have enough space because we pack our coats. Let's see, we've got some thread, word, we've got this floral here. Maybe we'll find a floral. One of those, yeah, we'll use a flower or something. So it makes it difficult because like my winter coat takes up so much space, and just sweatshirts and hoodies and blah blah, because sometimes we're in colder temperatures. And so the closet in this has a lot more room, and the previous owners had swapped out the dryer, which I'm super excited about because the dryer in Gypsy is super whiny and loud and makes me insane. So I did do a load of laundry when we were down at the KOA, and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so quiet. That's fantastic. And they made some modifications to it, so it makes the unit, I feel like, better, because we actually don't like this floor plan. And so anyway, so there's that. I don't know. It's longer, so I don't know that I love that. I mean, bigger is not always better, that's for sure. See, I need a ticket and I need a postage stamp, but I'm trying to figure out like what ticket I want to use. And I'm not sure what I want to use on this. Let's find a stamp. So anyway, bigger's not always better for sure. It's got a longer wheelbase, so getting it jockeyed around in the driveway yesterday was kind of interesting to get it in its parking spot. But we have Gypsy here too. So our driveway is a big fat mess because we have 2 RVs sitting in it and we barely have room for one. So it's just a lot. It is just a lot. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure that I was like ready to get another unit. But Mark was like not hearing it or having any part of not getting another unit now. So we did. Okay, those are like little faux stamps, not tickets. I was hoping for a turquoise ticket, or so I may have to dig in my blue scraps and stamp one because none of these colors are right. So anyway, these are the wrong color blue. No. So that's kind of what's been going on, and it's been a long, hard 5 months. Now that one's not bad, just for a little pop of something there. It's been a long, hard 5 months, and we are glad to hopefully be on the resolution side of things. I mean, not everything is settled. I kind of like that flower. Not everything is settled, obviously. We're still not done. We're still not through with everything. Like, I cannot believe how long some of this is taking to deal with. It's super annoying, and it was all preventable. I mean, if that guy had not been on his blankety blanky blinking phone and been paying attention to the road, none of this would have happened. So if you're a person who's on your phone when you're driving and you're like, oh, it's fine, I'm just gonna look at my phone for a second, it is not fine. Put your phone down. Put your phone down, because it is not worth it. Or pull off the side of the road, because it is not that important. In this day and age, how do people not know better? I feel very strongly about that. This is me toning it down, to be perfectly honest with you. I am pretty angry about the whole thing, and even more so because of the way we've been treated over it. Oh, now he's cute. Ooh, what if so, yeah. And I see like locally, I'm on some of like the local criminal, whatever, and there's always call outs. Oh my gosh, there's an officer. He's doing cell phone patrol. Don't they have something more important to do? Like instead of watch for people who are on their phones and driving, because we're a hands-free area. And I'm like, it's like, it's against the law. Like state law says you have to use hands-free devices. So why are we acting like, it's a big deal? And everybody's like, oh, it's just money grabbing, money grabbing. They're just money grabbing. And I'm sorry, but after experiencing what we have experienced, I'm all for the cell phone patrol. Like, it needs to be more strictly enforced. And while the guy did get cited for distracted driving or whatever the citation was, I don't know exactly what the citation was that he got. He cost a lot, and whatever phone call he was on was not worth it. Was not worth it. So don't be that person. Get off your phone. I just got blue on that. So that's my little soapbox this morning about cell phones and driving. It just really annoys me. It's not worth it. And it could have been far worse. I mean, thank God nobody dropped a drop of blood. Nobody died in our accident. It could have, easily could have. Because we were 58 feet long and 36,000 pounds rolling down the road. I don't know how you don't see a bus coming. And then when we are traveling, we see so much stuff. Like, I cannot believe the stuff that we see on the road. I just want to yell at the window at people, like, get off your phone. It's ridiculous. I'm going to dry these. I don't know if that ink is going to dry on there. And look, I'm going to be a mess. So when I come back for the next video to film, you guys are going to be like, oh, it's the same day, because she's all rusty looking. Well, this video is getting long, so thank you for your grace in listening to the life update. But I had told you guys I would tell you what's going on, and I did try to film a little bit when we were gone, so maybe I'll include some pictures or whatever of some things that had gone on while we were gone. But it was just a lot, and when I was filming before we left, I really wasn't ready to share what was happening. So these are these are paint swatches from Home Depot. And Mark and I were in there one day, and there was this bucket on the floor, and there was so many of them. And so I was like being all shy. I think I've told you guys this before. I was being so shy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally use those. Like, look at all those wonderful colors. I wonder what they do with them. But I didn't want to ask because it was weird and awkward, whatever. So God love Mark. He goes over and he says to the employee, what do you guys do with those? And they said, we throw them away. Once they go in the bucket, we throw them away. And he says, well, can we have them? And he was like, you want the whole bucket full of them? And my husband's like, yeah. So I have a whole basket of these, and I absolutely love them. They're so wonderful. So like this one I will cut, and then I will have a card with, this design and the color. So I could use that for a stencil or just even as a piece on a page, which is fantastic. And same with this one. Like, that would be kind of cool in a fall journal, right? And Kirsten, just because of our conversation this morning, look what I found. Icicles. Anyway, but I have them sorted by color. And when I say I have a lot, I have a lot. The bucket was like way full. It took me forever to sort through them. Forever. So I am, making a mess here. Okay, so I'm going to put these back because the colors are not quite right. I might leave that one. I had taken my circle there and smushed it into the oxide, then sprayed it with water. And I really like that. I feel like my background is very one note. So that was why I wanted to do something to add a little bit more color to it. And I think I want my black dauber just for some accent around some of these pieces, just to add a little bit more definition to it. And I know I put that doily in the background, but I'm not even worried about that doily. I'm really not. So anyway, yeah. So I have missed you guys. It's so weird to have not been in here for 2 weeks and to have done nothing. And I was so behind on videos watching videos because um, our cell service was really spotty in some places or none at all in other places. And I can't sit and watch videos when Mark's driving. It's my anxiety. I'm like hyper vigilant. It makes me insane. I wish I could just be one of those people that could like read a book or watch TV while somebody else is driving. But no, I have to be his little helper, which he makes fun of me for. But he makes fun of me. But then sometimes I'm like, dude, you're in an exit only lane. Oh, thanks. Like, hello. So that's part of all this stuff. There's just a lot of, I really feel like the accident really caused more trauma than I had anticipated. And that's not good. That is not good because we put, 25,000 miles on the old unit and there's still so many things we want to see and do, and I've got to somehow overcome this. It's really hard for me and it's really taking a toll, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I'm hopeful that with time, oh, I got white on that. That's okay. Oh, I could use that one. I'm really hopeful that with some time that this crazy anxiety that I'm having is going to subside and I'll be able to enjoy. I feel like I wish I would have had that in the darker color, but I have that. Well, it's okay. Stop fussing, Jody. I'm trying to think in terms of odd numbers, and that's what I don't have right now. I don't have it. So I'm going to try to get my composition here. I may need to cut another one. I may need to cut a neutral one because I plan to staple these down. I mean, I'm going to glue some of it, but I'm going to staple them down too. Okay, so I have some threads on here. So I think my carry forwards are going to be like the greenery and the threads, and two little tiny rusty Tim Holtz staples. Staples. Oh my gosh, I almost said stickers. Hurt. Hello. And then I just want to go around the edge of this with a little bit of black soot, I think, just to kind of outline it a little bit better. And then I think we're going to call that one good. This one doesn't really have a story, but I really like the colors together. I feel like it's kind of grungy and rustic and just fun. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to air this one for Tuesday. So that way my sequence of, I need to clean that off. I am getting that ink everywhere. My sequence of weeks are, I guess it doesn't really matter. So maybe I'll do this one for tomorrow. I'll do 15 for Tuesday. Then they're in order, but 15 is just going to be a day off of where it should be airing. But that way the update is there for you guys and you'll know like what's going on or, why things have been so crazy. And I do pray that things are going to finally settle down now. I don't know why this is such a mess. Like the whole thing is a mess. Anyway, and go from there. So I have plans to, look how pretty that is. I love that ink. So I'm going to work on botanical this week. I do want to finish up my infirmary because I want to get that done and the weather is nice. So I think that Well, it's nice today, but it's supposed to get wet. So I'm not sure because I need to go over and look in the cemetery and see if I can find the headstone because there's a story there too regarding the headstone. What week is this? 14. Um, uh-oh. Did I get my tip wet? No. I think I got my tip wet. There's a story regarding the headstone, and that's why it's like important to me that I share that with you. Well, that's a big mess. And so that's why I haven't been able to finish that, is because I want to go see if I can find his headstone or the headstone. Um, and again, that will make more sense when we get there. So I want to get that done, and I want to get the botanical worked on. And then I have a plan for May. So I've got to get some of these things dealt with and figured out. So that way, when it gets time for May, I'm not like, oh, I have to do this other thing first. And I don't want to do that. And then June is coming up. So we all know what that is. That's going to be fun. Well, maybe you don't, but I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert right now. So I've got to be ready for June. And then again, I don't know, Christmas in July, if that's something that I'm going to do this year. I'm just not sure. I really want to make a mermaid journal. I've really been wanting to make a mermaid journal for quite a while, and I feel like that's a good summer one to do. So please let me know your thoughts on Christmas in July versus a summer theme project. So, and I've done Christmas in July, what, 3 years in a row now? And I have really enjoyed it. And because we typically travel in the winter, it is nice for me to have that opportunity to work on Christmas stuff. But like, I have a couple of Christmas journals here already made that haven't sold. And so I just don't know. I just don't know what I want to do right now as far as that goes. So do give me feedback, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be week 15 for the full deck challenge. So then I'll be all caught up and ready to go. All right. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.